Tim Nicholls, can we though start to ask you now some questions about leadership now that it would appear that Campbell Newman has lost Ashgrove? Is that a position that you are now interested in, to take over the leadership of the LNP?
Well, Jess, look, I think it's far too early to start talking about any of those sort of things yet, because we're yet to see the final results and what the final outcome will be. So I know that there's a certain degree of anxiety on many people's part.
There's got to be a point tonight
where you are going to say something to me about that, and I'm sure the gentleman over my right shoulder will be stirring that particular
There's got to be a point tonight where we have to get an answer out of you on this.
Well, look, I think there are a lot of seats yet to be determined. There are still a large number of votes yet to be counted. Ashgrove does look like it is going to be a very, very big struggle, and on what Anthony said, I'm sure what Wayne is thinking, that is going to be hard. But far too early yet to be talking about those sorts of things, and indeed far too early for anyone, I think, to be talking about those sort of things. There are other people that, even if I were to be interested, I would need to talk to first. That's
who would you have to talk to?
Well, I think my wife and family would be pretty interested to know what was going on as well.
You've never discussed
you haven't already had that discussion.
So that's something else that needs to be discussed. But it's way too early yet to talk about those.
Text.
It's way too early to be talking about those
Premier,
sort of
yes
things.
or no?
Matt, it's way too early. Let's just see what the final number and what the final count is.
Well, I don't want to beat up on you too early in the night, because we are going to come back to this time and time again, I feel.
It's still too early. It's still moving around a fair bit. But no doubt, look, there is a big swing on, and it would be, you can't deny what you see there, and it would be foolish to do so. And there are obviously a number of issues there.
But it's not too early to say that the Premier has lost his seat. It's not too early to make that statement. He has lost his seat. Ashgrove has said, on your bike, and he's out. And now we've got a very close contest. We've seen the biggest majority in Australian history eroded right back. There's a seismic shift here. There's an electoral earthquake happening. We don't know whether Labor has won, but what we know is that 30-odd seats have probably been gained by the ALP and lost by the LNP in one term. This is absolutely an earthquake. And with an earthquake must come some understanding. And what you heard from Tim was outright denial. And what is here is a referendum on LNP leadership, both state and federal. No doubt about it.
Well, even if you retain government, we don't know that at this stage. You must be thinking a complete change of leadership style must at least be on the cards, if not some serious looking at your central policies.
Well, look, I think in terms of what we have looked at over the last period of time, we had to make some difficult decisions early on in the piece, and there's no getting away from the fact that they were difficult decisions.
But the combative leadership style, do you think that needs to change?
And then, as you've seen over the last 8 months, as the Premier himself indicated, a change in style, a more consultative style. I think one of the things that I tried to do with the Strong Choices campaign was to talk to people. I mean, I travelled the length and breadth of the state. We explained the problem, we explained the possible solutions, and as a result, as I say, I think during this campaign, the issues that were there were not primarily around, for example, the Strong Choices campaign, but around those other issues, around the size of the parliament, about focusing on what people wanted us to do, and about jobs and the economy, and they came up consistently as the top 3 issues.